what is your favorite match from Mid-South that you were part of? And what about your favorite match from Japan that you were part of?
Wow, Mid South. I mean, I spent so much time in Mid South, but I think probably the match I got a kick out of is the way that Bill Watts turned me heel. Oh my gosh, you talk about heat. Oh wow. Watts was just so good. I mean, we could have done it, any other way, but it's kind of like that whole scenario where you see him being, taking care of his friend and not wanting to win a match like that. To me, you know, becoming the asshole.
Man, we watched it last week here on Everybody's Got a Pod. If you missed that episode about JYD, it was our 11th episode. Go back into the archives and check it out. We did a watch along with that moment, and it is just a
Yeah,
blast. So please go
yeah.
out of your way to see that. What about in Japan, Ted? What is your favorite match from your time in Japan?
Gosh, now I eventually became Stan Hansen's tag team partner, and just for the fans who don't know, Japan has they had their own wrestling entity in and it's not part of WWE, never has been. And they had two organizations: All Japan Pro Wrestling, which was the original uh, wrestling. I think, and this is like way back when I was 12. I think my dad went to Japan one time on a 6 week tour, and that was when pro wrestling was starting in Japan. Anyway, um, so I go over there for All Japan Pro Wrestling, and then eventually another company with the guy's name was Anoki. He broke away from All Japan and created New Japan Pro
Hmm.
Wrestling. But I always stuck with All Japan. Loyalty's a big thing over there, and so one of their top guys, and I met him while I was still in college playing football. Because again, the Funks were the Funk family, basically were the guys booking talent for for Japan to bring over, and so they
Yes.
had a really close relationship. So one of the guys that they sent to Amarillo, the Amarillo territory, uh, was this guy who had actually uh, uh, his name was Teruta, Jumbo Teruta.
Okay.
He he had an amateur background. He wrestled for Japan in the Olympics, and he was a legit real wrestler, but ended up turning into a great worker. But I met him over here when he was wrestling for the Funks, and then when I went to Japan, uh, it was a memorable match for me because we had become friends, and I didn't know, I was going to go to Japan on a tour, whatever it was. I think this was a 5 week tour, and but he what he did for me in a match, he didn't have to do. I mean, he really made me over there. And so here's one of their biggest stars, and he has a match with me that he basically he got me over in one match. I mean, he made the wrestling fans in Japan respect my ability, and it was something he didn't really have to do, and it's just something I'll never forget. Uh, but then, I guess another memorable match for me would be tagging with Stan Hansen and us winning the Japan version of the World Tag Team title.
Hmm.
And those are two on the top of my list.
Man, can't wait to talk about your days in Japan. That's coming up here very, very soon on the podcast. So everybody stay tuned. I know a lot of fans online have been clamoring for your All Japan days, and I promise we will get there.